Hey guys, it's Ben. Welcome to the channel. Here today, I want to talk about a little thing called Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock for the last 3+ years, Zack Snyder's Justice League is formerly known as the Snyder Cut, and it is something that the fans have been longing for ever since the train wreck of the theatrical cut. Now, I won't talk too much about the theatrical cut and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm just gonna go over the 6 different parts. Well, 7, 8 if you include the prologue and the epilogue. There are 6 parts to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Originally, when they announced it, it was gonna be broken into 4 parts, but in the end, he released it as a 4-hour film. However, during the film, you'll have parts broken into for people that, just don't have 4 hours to give to watch the movie in one sitting. I will say it was hard to watch it in one sitting. It's definitely not impossible, as people binge watch TV shows for over 6, 7, 8 hours. As daunting as 4 hours sounds, it's really not that long, especially given the content. There is a lot, to dissect. There's a bunch of characters that were added back into the film. So I'm gonna, go through parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on here. Prologue will be lumped in with part 1 and the epilogue with, part 6. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Just have my notes right here that I just wanted to talk about. I have seen it 3 times. During my 4th time, I've been taking more notes, just trying to, get everything I think I can with every scene, every little tidbit. So with this, Zack Snyder's Justice League starting off entirely different than the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut, if I remember correctly, it started off with a goofy Batman scene, as well as the infamous mustache gate of Superman Henry Cavill's upper lip being CGI'd. It starts off with Superman actually being, stabbed through his chest with the, the arm or limb of Doomsday. If you remember in Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman actually cut off his arm, and then he was kind of like growing it back, and it was like this big old spike, and Superman grabs the kryptonite staff and stabs Doomsday through the heart or chest as well, and to give him that final blow, Doomsday actually stabs him back through the chest, in the end killing him. So as Superman is dying, he's yelling out these loud yells, as you would, if you got stabbed through the heart as well. With his, loud yells, it goes through the entire Earth, actually waking up the 3 mother boxes. So, I will say, the cinematography in the beginning, right off of Fabian Wagner, his shots are incredible, just with Bruce Wayne going through the mountains and stuff. You only saw like a couple of those glimpses in the theatrical cut, but here you see him actually, eating, going on his little ride with the horse through the mountains and stuff, and that was a pretty cool segment. So, that brings us to Bruce meeting and tracking down Aquaman. Gone are the lines of, "I hear you can talk to fish." Damn. I really hated that joke. Anyway, so we have Bruce trying to find Arthur Curry. He talks a little, with him, and then he's thrown up against the wall. I really liked how this Batman, Bruce Wayne, was very determined not to take no for an answer right here. We already knew going in that this Batman was going to be a lot different. He was going to be, almost the same as he was in Batman v Superman, aside from his huge vengeance and aggression towards Superman, and he's trying to unite the team. So for part 1, I would rate it a 9 out of 10 through everything that we've gotten so far. The only downside I got from the first part was where Aquaman is talking to Batman and saying how he's out of his mind, and he goes back to the sea, and then it cuts over to a crowd of, it looks like women and children. There might be some men in there too, starting to serenade Aquaman, as you will. It was fine. It was a good gesture, a great gesture. My only concern or head shake would have been when the woman, picked up Arthur's sweater and kind of smelled it. Probably could have been deleted. I know with Zack putting everything back in, I know in the original cut of his original cut that was going to make it to theaters, probably would have cut some of these stuff out. But I know he just wanted to put everything back in, regardless of, if it needed to be in there or not. So I would say this first part is 9 out of 10, just based off of that scene alone. I know it's maybe like an endearing act, but, I could have done without it. I know, some of my friends and family have notated that as well. So I would agree with that. It probably should have been cut. But, it doesn't hinder the movie at all. So let's go on to the next segment. I will say Steppenwolf right off the bat looks good. He looks ferocious. He looks menacing. He looks like a villain. His CGI is by far one of the greatest things of this movie. It's kind of weird because they had to go redo Steppenwolf from the theatrical cut, but it was technically the original Steppenwolf, so I don't know how you go redo a redo, basically. But with that being said, his appearance is more in line if you watch the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition towards the end of the movie. It's what they showed in the beginning of the movie with him and Lex Luthor. So you get more of that spiky armor, that living armor. It rises up when he's on the offense, and it calms down when he's just relaxed or talking to Darkseid and whatnot. They did an excellent job. The visual effects team did an excellent job recreating him. I really am a big fan of his Electro Blade, which I don't remember having that that electricity flowing through it. It's more of a gold in this version. I don't remember it at all in the theatrical cut. I know I did have the old Justice League Blu-ray that came from Target and had some extra concept art, and that was the first time I actually realized that they gave it the Electro Blade name, which never heard of it until this movie. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like the Queen Hippolyta getting a lot more scenes in this. It shows to her character and her arc, the sacrifices that she had to make when she, told her daughters to, strike down the pins for the door and just had the temple just collapse with Steppenwolf inside with some of the parademons. Unfortunately, didn't kill most of the parademons, didn't kill Steppenwolf, but it might have killed, some of the Amazons. So that was, a little sad. But I mean, it just puts, the more, the sacrifice, tone of the movie where a lot of people are, just not thinking about themselves, not being selfish, being the heroes, the heroines of the story and putting others first, the greater good. So yeah, 9 out of 10. So one of my favorite action scenes of part 1 was actually when Steppenwolf is trying to grab the mother box in the beginning from the Amazons. He lunges at them, throws the horses, chucks one of the horses, slices some of the women. I mean, it's pretty violent, but that whole action sequence had me on the edge of my seat the first time I watched it. It was beautifully done, epically done, and that was an epic scene. My second favorite part of part 1 was the introduction of the boom tube sound, well suited for this version of the movie. It was awesome. I just like the little whoop, boop. It was cool. Okay, so my biggest takeaways from part 1. Once Bruce came back from tracking down Aquaman, he notates to Alfred that didn't go the way he wanted to, but he did meet him. And for Alfred to say, we're starting off this draft 0-2. That's very important because I don't know if that 0-2 was for him recruiting Aquaman and Diana as Wonder Woman, because he never actually recruited her. At the end of Batman v Superman, he just said that they were ready to fight. Don't know if that was if that was the over to, because that would have been off screen, him recruiting Diana, or if it was an attempt to recruit someone else who might have not made the film. What do you guys think? Do you think that 0 for 2 was for Aquaman and Wonder Woman, or if it was for Aquaman and someone else not mentioned in the movie at all? Maybe a Green Lantern? Maybe Ryan Reynolds? I know you still got the ring. Where are you? Let's bring him back. Restore the Snyderverse, as you will. So my second takeaway of part 1 was when Steppenwolf leaves and one of Hippolyta's daughters mentions that he's gone and taken the mother box and he's gone back to his own universe. I don't know if that means, they were trying to set up the multiverse from the get-go. This is the first that they've mentioned it in the movies, about the universe instead of his planet or his Earth. So I think that was an interesting takeaway. I know it was done on purpose, but does that mean that Darkseid is actually part of, a different timeline? The one that's coming, to grab all these, mother boxes and the anti-life equation? I don't know. Really, excited to see if it, pans out at all. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the CW crossover episodes. Last year they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And in that, it brought together every DC live action movie and every DC television show currently in production, as well as some of those in the past, like Smallville. And they pretty much brought everything into one universe. That is why, Ben Affleck is coming back with Michael Keaton in Ezra Miller's Flash movie. So it'll be interesting to note if this is more of a multiverse type thing that they're trying to encompass. I know, with this movie, was supposed to come out 3 years ago. I don't know where those plans lie now, but I know it wasn't by accident, and I feel like it's probably part of a bigger, multiverse, and maybe the, original Darkseid didn't realize this. Because, in the movie, they talk about him doing the anti-life equation, or looking for the anti-life equation, and he had the mother boxes, and Darkseid's brutally beaten, whatever. But later on, Steppenwolf talks about, I found it when it's on Earth. Those are one of the things that I am trying to figure out, if this is Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth Prime, because right now in the CW, everything's just Earth Prime, everything's Earth 1, because they haven't realized that the multiverse still exists. Third takeaway, I do love the new updated Wonder Woman theme song. I feel like it goes more in line with her goddess abilities. She does have the blood of the gods running through her. I really like a lot of the backstory also that was told, with the arrow that Hippolyta shoots out for Diana being actually the goddess of Artemis. I thought that was really good. So a lot of stuff early on. I just want, to, bring that to everyone's attention. If you guys haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest you guys go watch it. Watch it in parts, it's not that bad if you can't watch 4 hours of it. Watch it in parts. It does a beautiful job of doing the prologue and then ending with part 1, Don't Count on a Batman, and then part 2, The Age of Heroes. So it does a really good job of separating it. So if you guys, don't watch it all in 4 hours, it's not a big deal. Like, at least go watch it. And let me know your thoughts, your concerns, what you hope for. Oh, before I forget, the last takeaway for part 1 that I want to dive into is the introduction of Ryan Choi. If you guys don't know who Ryan Choi is, in the comics, he is one of the iterations of Adam. That's why at the end of the film, spoiler alert, he talks about his nanotech. So, I'm really excited for his character. I think he was, a welcome addition to the group. Not the group of the Justice League, but, a background character with Silas and stuff. I really think he carried his own. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, I know Zack has talked about pitching a movie idea regarding Ryan Choi's Adam, set in China. I really hope they do something, you know, with that, especially with everything that's going on, you know, in the Asian community. I think this would be really great for them. Really excited. I know with Marvel doing their own, you know, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. I don't know if these are one of those things that were leaked out to, you know, Marvel's camp prior, and that's why they've gone with it, because there's a lot of things that happen in Zack Snyder's Justice League that I get some Marvel vibes from, but this movie should have came out prior to it. I know you guys know about those rumors. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you guys can expect from this, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, hopefully, you know, he gets signed on for another movie, maybe just for HBO Max, who knows. But, you know, stay tuned for part 2. Should be coming to you shortly, hopefully by the end of the week. I'm going to try to break up in parts as well, like I mentioned. So you'll be getting about 6-7 parts of, you know, me talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you guys want to enter any of my giveaways, there's still time. There's 2 currently going on. I still haven't started the 3rd one, which would be the Man of Steel Blu-ray Steelbook Edition. If you guys are interested in that, you know, just subscribe to the channel, like this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, and have a wonderful, blessed Monday.